Sakanti ko niyang ni kanda pa aro gatal pa video na ram sakswar pinga dalde July ni gani tarik azal gani krogar pre ang aprenge bakonin video tariat na maksong biat mendeba makawani gaman manja daw makanam kalanga ha ani gaman ang aya kanda ka video ko tariat tinga aro karen dongjani gaman ontiti video ontiti andala kata taki dakang naminga jebong china anga video ko kandaki tariat nang tanang naking misal sani bako misal July ni sa tarik sombar salo atam chipak anjing ni Meghalaya ni Shillong ni MP Dr. Ricky Andrew J. Shinkon waba agan pana kata cholko man paha presidential address speech motion no agan pana kata cholko man paha minutes kang mang somai ko jakale Dr. Ricky wandani speech ko naha wandani speech o speaker ba chairman ko matheli mangna katarang ko abachinga taha aro abachinga taniyo wa mangsang bega pa Israel ni raja Daud raja ni depante Solomon raja ni kata to iskani ode ko pochi chato pangchake katarang ko abachinga taha where there is no vision people perish jio naksam swani dongja mandirang gama angapa katarang ko agani katarang ko abachinga ha aro naken wan tangne BPP party ni gaman voice of the people party yani bangi jabalsi gatamne gisepo mandirang ni corporation che mandirang ne gise katong gamak che bakramaniyo dalo antang ni MP ongauna soktuani rangko pa jana paha wa mongsong bate corruption ko warachakna gata dakraknari jagatani aro clean politics rongrekpa politics ko raknari jagatani aro wasanongja Meghalaya ni indigenous mandirang ko chelchakna kamkani gaman janap cholaha tau chini party yarang na kamkanari jakatingon chinga dalon dake anamga pa cholrang ko manpai dalonga MP panama naha yarang ko ba janap choli Meghalaya ni namen ni to bega pa biapongani gaman Meghalaya Shillong agal sakne bako ni to batsang pa biaponi damsawa wa biaponi angari ba angapa katarang ko ba janap paha aro kasi kusiko it's sedulo ragat sinagata wa yakoba janap cholaha aro wanake kadongani katarang ko ba agana ha aro wasanongja development no namen jaman chaka Meghalaya gesa Assam aro Bangladesh ni border ni jachi kriko dongi namen dalo safety ongkijani ko feel kana nang kuinga development no namen jaman chaka nirang donga dalo Shillong ni airport to daldal ka plane rang landing kana man ku jainga yanda ka katarang ko ba janapi wabon khamao Nehemia ni katarang ko shastro ni Nehemia ni hayan chingchakati rakna Nehemia udai gani pochi cheto Nehemia ni agan ka katarang ko agan chapi mangna antani speech ko conclude ka ha machotata ha ani gaman uni speech ko anga chugamak yang ni video natinga na simon tatang ni phabo ni mangna comment rang ko on pachina anga sakanti ko mula mathela achika song thangbang china.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me to take part in this motion of thanks on the President's address. Well, it is with a great joy that I stand here on behalf of each and every soul of the one Shillong parliamentary seat who have supported me and who have enabled me to stand in this great institution and to speak this almost at the last hour of the day. Mr. Chairman, I just want to remind myself to remind the members of this 18th Lok Sabha and also the rest of and the people of this country that nothing is impossible with God. Why I say this is because of the fact that I belong to a party which we started just less than 3 years ago. And it is a party which fought the election without money, a party that fought against corruption, a party that stands for clean politics, good governance, honesty, and for the protection of the rights of the indigenous people, and also to uphold the constitution of this great nation, to ensure secularism, pluralism, federalism, that these are the tenets of our great nation prevail. So, King Solomon the Great said these words, that a nation without a vision will perish. Well, I was very delighted to hear the words futuristic, the words vision in the address by the Honorable President. While I was patiently waiting for, what is the future, what is there in the vision of the President's address, as a first-time MP, I was listening patiently to hear where the government will take the nation, how the government will take it. But unfortunately, I did not get much except for the achievement that the government in the past has accomplished. Well, I wish that the government will be more explicit in its endeavor. Mr. Chairman, while mentioning the lasting peace in the Northeast, as is spelled out in the presidential address, I would like to remind the government of the day and also the government of the past, led by the Congress government, that our people, my people, living especially in the border with Assam, in the border with Bangladesh, I tell you, till today, they don't feel safe at all. They feel very threatened. And what is even sad is that the lands have been taken away from them. They've lost their livelihood. Why? Because of the failure of subsequent governments to settle this dispute, which has been there for many, many years. We talk about development of the nation. That is dependent on the development of the states. That is what even our Honorable Prime Minister said, these words. Now, how can we talk of development when people till today, till this very moment, are yearning for peace? I therefore urge the government to kindly take up this matter seriously. And I wish and I hope that the Prime Minister himself will take the lead in putting an end to this long pending issue in the interests of our great nation in general and in the interests of my people, especially those living in the border areas. Mr. Chairman, there's a saying that small is beautiful. Well, I am proud to stand here to represent one of the most beautiful people living in the in the eastern part of this great nation called the Khasis, and also coming from one of the most beautiful places on earth. Mr. Chairman, I urge and I call upon the government and also the members of this august House to play a role in enriching and promoting the culture of my people, especially when we talk of culture, language is one of the important elements. For many years, we've been demanding for the inclusion of the Khasi language in the 8th schedule. I hope, with the support of members, that one day just like while I was sitting here, from day one, hearing our friends speaking their own language, how I wish that one day, very soon, that you will also get to hear the language that I speak, the Khasi language. And I hope that the government, members in the opposition, would support the inclusion of the Khasi language in the 8th schedule.
Okay, sir. Kindly conclude, sir.
Well, the government talks about development. Let me remind this House that Shillong, or rather Meghalaya, is one of the famous tourist destinations. And while talking to friends outside in the corridor, when they ask me where do I come from, I say, I come from Shillong. Oh, Shillong is a very beautiful place. I hope members who have never visited Shillong, or Meghalaya for that matter, would one day make it a point to visit Meghalaya. But the sad part is that Meghalaya is now almost 52 years old. Unfortunately, till today, well, we have an airport, but an airport which is not where big planes cannot land. Even though the fact remains that Shillong, or rather Meghalaya, has tourism has so much potential.
Thank you, sir. Please continue.
Let me finish, sir. This is my maiden speech. I'll just take a few more points. I just hope that the government, the concerned ministry, would help the state to ensure that this airport is an airport where large plane can land. And finally, sir, we've been talking a lot about the leakage, the exams. I would like to draw the attention of the members of this August House that there's another important issue which I feel as members we should take and look at it seriously. While designing a policy, like the CET NEET for our youth, what I want to say here, sir, is that before we come up with such policy, I think it's very important to ensure that the centers are adequate, or the adequacy of the test center. Otherwise, what is happening I'm a teacher. It pains me when I come across students who have to put a stop to the career for the simple fact that they have to travel to far-off places.
Thank you, sir.
Why? Because there is
Mr.
no
Manikam Tagore.
test center in their place.
Mr.
Well, I
Manikam
hope
Tagore.
that the government, while coming up with such policy, do keep this also in mind, to set up centers at every block, which would be a great asset to the state and also the nation as a whole.
Thank you, Doctor.
Last but not the least, let me just end up with this quote, sir, that I call upon the members of this August House. Let us rise up, as Nehemiah said. Let us rise up and build. Let us rise up above party politics. Let us rise up above caste, religion, and creed, and let us build this nation. If we want to see a developed India, I would request each and every member to rise up and build this great nation. Thank you so much, sir.